In Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition, the Satyr is described as a fey creature that delights in singing, dancing, feasting, and debauchery, appearing human with the lower half of a goat for legs, and curled ram's horns coming out of their heads. Also called fauns or free folk, they are known for mischief, mayhem, and hedonism. The Satyr has an AC of 14 and 31 hit points. They have a +1 to strength, a +1 to dex, a 0 to con, a +1 to intellect, and a 0 in wisdom, and a +2 to charisma. They have a +2 to perception checks, a +6 to performance, and a +5 to stealth. They can speak Common, Elvish, and Sylvan, the language of the Fae. They have resistance to magic, gaining advantage on saving throws stemming from magical effects. In combat, they have 3 attack choices. A Ram ability that has a +3 to hit, dealing 2d4 + 1 damage, a range of 3 to 9. A Short Sword that has a +5 to hit and deals 1d6 + 3, a range of 4 to 9. And a Short Bow with a target range of 80 to 320 feet that also has a +5 to hit and deals 1d6 + 3 damage. There's also an optional variant that gives the Satyr pan flutes. When they play this as an action, all players within 60 feet must succeed on a DC 13 wisdom save, or else they are either charmed, frightened, or put to sleep by the pipes, a choice made by the DM when the effect is first cast. The Satyrs in D&D are very simple creatures, and in combat they would be very simple to run. Against a low-level standard party, I would have at least 6 to 8 of them to give a party a challenge. I would have at least 1 or 2 of these Satyrs attacking up front with their short swords, while the rest of them pepper the ranged players from afar with their short bows. Using the Ram ability doesn't really make sense, since it has a lower possibility of hitting them and deals less damage overall. The only time I would use it is if they've been disarmed. However, this is not how I would run an encounter with Satyrs. I would have my party happen upon a single Satyr in the woods, playing his pan flute. If they converse with this Satyr, he might offer them gifts or rewards in exchange for food, alcohol, etc. This could lead them to a simple quest, or maybe just an exchange. But if the role-playing goes south and the party threatens or attacks the Satyr, combat ensues. I would have 6 to 8 other Satyrs spring out from hiding and attack, while the lead Satyr uses the optional pan flute to charm, frighten, or sleep the party. From here, the strategy is the same, with the added danger of the pan flutes potentially taking 1 or more members out of the fight each round. In Greek mythology, the Satyr, or Selenos, was a male nature spirit with ears and tail of a horse, and the body of a man. Most early artistic renditions show them also with horse legs, though later ancient Greek art replaces these with human legs. They were often shown naked and hideous, engaging in violent or disgusting acts of hedonism. They're usually shown drinking, engaging in orgies, and also in certain acts involving consent and animals that I will not repeat here. However, the latter few violent things were often shown with the intent of humor, as the Satyrs rarely, if ever, were successful in catching their targets. Instead, early Satyr art seemed to display them as being comically beaten up or otherwise punished by the gods for their crimes, used as an example of going too far with hedonistic pleasures, and being brought low because of their hubris. Over ancient Greek history, the horse-like features started dropping away to be replaced with goat-like characteristics, as a direct result of them being misassociated with Pan, the god of the wild, shepherds, and companion of nymphs. The Romans further pushed this mistaken association, calling the creatures fauns and nature spirits that were directly related to Pan. This association continued into the Renaissance period, and most artwork depicting satyrs featured the goat horns and legs, as well as pan flutes, wine, and general debauchery. Over time, satyrs have been associated less and less with the more obscene origins, and instead being shown as more tame, silly, and even kind creatures like the faun Mr. Tumnus in the Narnia series, or Phil in my personal favorite Disney movie from the 90s, Hercules. Unlike most D&D creatures based on Greek myths, the satyrs in Greek myth are not a singular entity. Rather, they're a race of nature spirits. In D&D, they're described much the same as the later iterations of the goat-like creatures who are lovers of music, wine, and general frivolity. Unlike the myth, the D&D creature is not associated with a god, nor are they associated with violent sexual acts. Instead, they're a fey creature that delights in mischief and life's simplest pleasures. If you enjoyed that video, consider giving it a like and giving me a follow. And for more of my videos, you can find me on Twitch @Moglaroo, YouTube @Moglaroo Streams, and TikTok @Moglaroo Streams as well.